Now at noon, LA City workers are cleaning up a homeless encampment and offering housing and services to those who are living there. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The operation is part of LA Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe program.
It comes as a county measure to raise taxes towards homeless housing. Is approved for the November ballot. KTLA 5's Alina Abovian is in South LA with the details. Alina?
Hi there, Lou and Glenn. Well, Operation Inside Safe, it's been around for about a year, and they do these cleanups about once a week or so. This time around, they're aiming to get 12 people into either permanent or temporary housing. The cleanup started here in South LA. This is Broadway on 87th around 9 this morning, and as you can see, they are still at it because this is a very delicate situation approaching the people who live here, who have called this place home for several years in some cases, and getting them to want to go into permanent or temporary housing. Now, as you can see in this video here, lots of personal belongings also cleared out. This is an initiative spearheaded by Mayor Karen Bass's office, and the goal is to get the unhoused off the streets and bring people inside from these tents and encampments and into temporary or permanent housing. Inside Safe has been around for over a year, and more than 21,000 Angelenos through various initiatives have been taken off the streets, and they've conducted about 50 of these cleanings so far. Locals say this encampment specifically has been here for years.
What people need or want at the moment, but it's what they're going to get and what they're going to receive better blessings at the end of the day. So it's good that they're doing this. They needed this. And it's about time they clean up because I'm tired of walking around here, or when I get out the car, I got to step over stuff.
And in an effort to allocate more funding toward homeless initiatives, just yesterday, the LA County Board of Supervisors voted 4-0 to get a measure on the November ballot that would double the county's homelessness sales tax to about 0.5% to go toward funding. If approved by voters, it would replace Measure H, which currently is a 1/4-cent sales tax, which voters approved in 2017. The money from the tax is estimated to generate about $1.2 billion annually and would go toward affordable housing, mental health care, and substance abuse treatment, among other homeless services. It would also require programs funded by the tax to conduct audits and set targets to ensure the money's going where it is supposed to go. Now, back out here live after speaking with some of the organizers who work for Inside Safe, they say the biggest problem they face is not compliance from the people who live in these encampments, but rather funding, making sure they have enough housing for once people agree to get off the streets. That's the very latest. I'm Lena Bourbon reporting live here in South LA, KTLA 5 News.
All right, thank you, Alina. A homeless man who is also a registered sex offender is due in court today to face charges in 3 alleged attacks on women on Santa Monica Beach. Jawan Garnett is facing attempted murder, assault, and elder abuse charges. Authorities say on Monday morning he started attacking a 17-year-old girl on the beach near Lifeguard Tower 13. Another woman who is also homeless went to intervene. She says he then attacked her and bit her ear. Investigators say that Garnett then raced towards the water and dragged a 77-year-old woman into the water and tried to drown her. All 3 women were treated at the scene and released. The family of a Lancaster toddler who died of a fentanyl overdose is filing a lawsuit against the LA County Department of Family Services.
They claim the child should have been removed from the home over his mother's alleged drug use. KTLA 5 Samantha Cortese live in the newsroom with more on this lawsuit. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, Lou and Glenn. This is a shocking story, devastating details, and today we're learning about yet another child's death while under the supervision of LA County Department of Child and Family Services, DCFS. 17-month-old Justin Bully died of a fentanyl overdose at his mother's Lancaster home in February. The family's attorney, Brian Claypool, held a news conference today revealing details surrounding the death that are disturbing. Baby Justin's mother, Jessica Darthard, was allegedly a drug and alcohol abuser who got a DUI in 2023. She slammed into the back of a big rig, driving with a blood alcohol content of 2.2. Her children were in the car, including baby Justin, who was not in a car seat. Lawyers say that alone should have been grounds for the children to be removed, but baby Justin and his 3 siblings remained in the home. In that home, the autopsy report shows baby Justin inhaled fentanyl and died of an overdose. 1 nanogram can kill a child. Justin had 25 nanograms in the blood surrounding his heart. The attorney said in their research they found DCFS supervisor assigned to this home was not only friends with the mother, but brought her own children to the home while the mother and her father, so Justin's grandfather, a known drug dealer in the Antelope Valley, were doing drugs.
The woman appointed by the county is at the scene of the death. And what does she do? She doesn't step in and try to save these kids. She doesn't pull these kids out of that house. What does she do? She's a coward. She runs. When the paramedics show up at that house, what does that DCFS visitation supervisor do? She does a 360, runs out of the house with her kids, but guess what? The cops found her later that day. And you know what they did? They tested her 3 kids.
Her 3 children also tested positive for fentanyl. In total, 6 children in the home positive for fentanyl. One 17-month-old Justin died. Today, the family announced an intent to sue LA County DCFS for $65 million on behalf of the father and the other siblings who lawyers say suffered years of abuse and neglect. They say instead of giving Justin to his father, a truck driver who travels for work, they left them with the mother until they could find a foster family. Here's the father.
I was devastated, you know, I didn't understand. You know, I get that phone call. Who gets a phone call like that? I didn't know what to do. I was just in shock. Hopefully they can change the system. You know, I don't know all the right answers, but I would like a full investigation.
We're calling upon Supervisor Captain Barger to remove the leadership in Lancaster. And that way we'll have true change. And hopefully no more children will die because DCFS Lancaster in particular has the blood of children on their hands. They're responsible.
So we've heard back from DCFS after requesting a comment, but the spokesperson said the department does not comment on pending litigation. In the newsroom, Samantha Cortese, Ktla 5 News.
2 19-year-olds have been charged with hate crimes after authorities say they posed as federal ICE agents and targeted Latinos in Orange County to rob them.
It's believed the suspects have ties to Romanian criminal organizations. KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang live in Santa Ana with the latest developments. Kimberly?
Hi, according to the Orange County District Attorney's Office, the 2 men would sometimes pose as U.S. immigration agents or as FBI agents or police officers and allegedly targeted Hispanic victims. Take a look at their photos released by the OCDA. According to investigators, this is Laurentiu Basianu and Alexandru Vasile, both Romanian nationals who speak Spanish, and allegedly targeted Hispanic street vendors and laborers who they believe to be undocumented immigrants. The 2 men are accused of wearing fake badges. In some cases, they allegedly threatened to deport them if they refused to hand over money and debit cards. In at least one of the robberies, investigators say the suspects had a gun in the car. The 2 men were charged Monday with 11 felony counts of second-degree robbery and 11 felony hate crime enhancements. The OCDA says they've also been charged with felony crimes in Contra Costa County. They're scheduled to be tried in Orange County first before facing charges there. Kimberly Eds with the OCDA's office says the suspects are believed to be in the U.S. illegally and may have ties to Romanian criminal organizations. So far, 11 victims have reported crimes that happened in June across Orange County, including in Anaheim, Westminster, and Tustin, but investigators believe there could be more victims. Ed spoke to us about one of the incidents that was reported.
They were driving up to people that they thought were going to be fearful of being deported, flashing either a badge or immigration paperwork that they said identified themselves as ICE agents. In one case, they identified themselves as FBI agents and demanded to see identification, and then had people hand over their wallets so that they can inspect their cash and see if it was counterfeit. And then when they determined, according to the victim, that it was in fact counterfeit, they would take their cash.
They each face a maximum sentence of 29 years in state prison if convicted on all counts. They're currently being held without bail. The men pleaded not guilty and are scheduled to appear in court July 2nd. Reporting live in Santa Ana, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
Kimberly, thank you.